There are historical injustices in Indian society, and for that, reservation has been designed. But instead of political and positive benefit, it has become controversial in today's era. Hello friends, welcome to the In Focus series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's session is about Maratha Quota and what is the term related to Sage-Soyare in Maratha Quota. So in news, you have often heard this particular discussion that Jats are demanding reservation, Gujars are demanding OBC reservation in the state. Maratha reservation is controversial issue and the issue has also reached to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court has also given a concerned verdict related to this reservation issues. So because of all these things, reservation is always into the discussion, and that's why we have chosen this topic, because this topic is important from GS2 perspective and also for your essay paper and for your ethics paper. So that's why this topic is very much important. And what had happened in Maharashtra, that there is a social activist who is demanding reservation for the Marathas in the state, has called off the protest in the request of Chief Minister 𝐾𝐨𝐻 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐻, and he broke his fast after the inclusion of the term Sage-Soyare in draft notification of the Maratha reservation. So this is the news we are going to discuss in today's session. So moving to the points of discussion part. So first of all, we are going to discuss the news, which we already had briefed about this particular topic, that why we are discussing this topic and why this is a news. And then we are also going to discuss the background, and we'll also discuss that who are the Marathas, and we'll discuss why demand for Sage-Soyare, inclusion of the term Sage-Soyare in draft notification, and also the expected legal challenges, prelims question at the end. So moving to the background part, because we already had covered the news in the intro session. So what is the background about this Maratha reservation? Why this particular Maratha reservation has become controversial and it is always in the news? So what had happened that when this first demand was came, so the first demand has been come in 1981 by a leader whose leader is Anna Saheb Patil. So he has led a protest in 1981 in Mumbai, and they had demanded that there should be the OBC reservation for the Marathas in the Maharashtra. And what happened that during 2016 and 18 there were multiple protests happened because of the OBC reservation for the Marathas. And what had happened that there were 58 rallies. In the first few rounds, the rallies were very peaceful and very demanding in nature. But what had happened later, that rally became violent, so many people are killed, so many people are mobbed. So these kind of things had happened because of this Maratha reservation. The matter had also reached to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court had given the verdict that the particular community cannot be included in economically weaker section because they are demanding the this particular OBC status. And for OBC status, you need to have socially and educationally backward, because in Constitution it has been written that socially and educationally backward. And in the eyes of Supreme Court, after so much analysis, it has been analyzed that this particular community is not socially and educationally backward. So that's why they don't need Maratha reservation. And after that, a lot of protest has been erupted throughout the Maharashtra, and so many people are asking that they are socially and educationally backward, especially the lower Marathas, and for that they need OBC reservation in the state, and they need to have representation in jobs and also in schools and colleges. So because of this thing, this is the background that when this matter has been erupted. So this matter has been erupted in the era of 80s. So this is the news. So moving to the next slide. Next slide is about who are the Marathas. So Marathas are the warrior caste, and they are traditionally the land holding caste. It means that you can simply say that most of the Marathas are the landowners, and historically they were very much politically active and socially active also, and not economically backward. And what is the current regime of Maharashtra? We have seen that out of 20 CM, 12 were from the Maratha community. So this community is very much politically active. So this is the brief introduction of the Marathas. And what had happened is, because of the various land issues and also the shareholding issues and problems in the farm sector, there was few section of Marathas who are called as lower Marathas and middle Marathas got declined, and their status got declined, and because of that they are asking that they need OBC reservation in order to represent in the state legislative assembly and also in the education and jobs. So this is their demand. So moving to the next slide. Next slide is about why Sage-Soyare. So what had happened that Zaranghe Patil had passed unto death, and in the month of August, Eknath Shinde had calmed down the situation, and after that Zaranghe Patil broke his fast because Eknath Shinde had asked that he needs 1 month time to review all the matters related to the Maratha reservation. But what had happened that this Zaranghe Patil again took the fast, and on 27th of Jan he broke his fast after the inclusion of term Sage-Soyare in draft notification. So what is this Sage-Soyare? So Sage-Soyare literally means that relatives of the same family tree. So in Marathi term, relatives from the family tree. So this is mean as a Sage-Soyare, and according to the government notification, the term includes relatives of an applicant's fathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, and in earlier generation forming out of marriage within the same caste. So Sage-Soyare means that if you are marrying a Marathi person and that whole family will become the Sage-Soyare, then your family will become the Sage-Soyare of that Marathi person. So this is called as a Sage-Soyare in Maharashtra, and this term has been included. And why this term is giving benefit to the Maratha community? Because of this term, the Marathas of Maharashtra will get this particular Kunbi certificate, and because of that Kunbi certificates they can get this OBC reservation in the state. So that's why this inclusion of Sage-Soyare is important in Maharashtra. So this is the Kunbi certificate. So moving ahead, moving to the why there is a conflict between the Sage-Soyare and why people want to obtain this Kunbi certificate. So the simple reason is that they want to have a benefit and representation in jobs and education. On the other hand, there is some historical problems with the state of Maharashtra. So earlier in the pre-British era, what we have seen that they were Maharashtra part who were ruled by the British, and there were another part who were ruled by the Nizams of the Hyderabad. So the area which was ruled, which is known as Marathwada, is ruled by the Nizam of Hyderabad, and another area was ruled by the British. So the area which was ruled by the British, there it's very easy to obtain Kunbi certificates, but in the Marathwada region it is not easy to get Kunbi certificate because they had a different rules, and they didn't have survey like that because they were under the different rules and regimes. And because of that, this particular Marathwada region and Marathwada people did not get their Kunbi certificates, and they cannot obtain and they cannot get benefits of the OBC reservation. But on the other hand, the areas of Vidarbha and Eastern Maharashtra and Western Maharashtra and Northern Maharashtra have already taken the Kunbi certificates. But now what had happened that after the inclusion of the term Sage-Soyare, they all can get a benefit of the Kunbi certificates. So this is this thing, and I already had told you that if you don't have a Kunbi certificate and if you are marrying a person with a Kunbi certificate, then your whole family will become a part of Sage-Soyare, and they can also get benefit of this particular Maratha reservation and Kunbi certificate. So this is the confusion we had related to the Kunbi certificate. So I think it's got clear. So moving to the next slide. Next slide is about what changes expected after the inclusion of the Sage-Soyare in the notification. So we already had explained you that what is the meaning of Sage-Soyare. So in that draft there is a term which has been written that within the same caste. So so many people are saying and experts are saying that because if you are marrying to a girl or to a family who already have a Kunbi certificates, then you are also eligible for the Kunbi certificates, and not you. Your entire family is eligible for the Kunbi certificate. So that will promote the marriage within the same caste, because in the draft notification it has been written that marriage within the same caste. So by generation, these kind of problems will happen and it will demote the intercaste marriage. And in India, we already had significant issue of intercaste marriage, and people don't prefer to marry outside of their caste. And because of this all political provisions, they will promote the caste marriage, and these kind of things will make a conservative society, because people will not prefer the girl and boy from any outside of the Maratha community or any outside of the Kunbi community. So this is the problem, and because of all these things, there are lots of changes can be expected. Because, and there is also a problem because here OBC, which means that in Indian constitution is other backward classes, and here OBC is not a particular caste, it is a particular category under which so many caste comes. But confusion is also there that Maratha Kunbi and Kunbi Marathas are a particular caste. So how you will include and how you will deal with these community, this is also another kind of concern. And this will have a major impact because Marathas are already very politically dominated community, and so many OBC organizations are reacting to this situation and they are opposing to this situation, because they are saying that they are already land owning caste and they are so much politically motivated and politically powerful, and if they will get reservation on the basis of Kunbi certificates, then entire OBC population of Maharashtra will suffer. Anyway, the state does not have 27% of reservation. They already have 19% of the reservation. Unlike the national, we have like 27% of reservation, because in Maharashtra there are several categories like nomadic tribe B, nomadic tribe, Vimukta Jatis, OBC, SC, ST, and because of that OBC has only 19% in share. And if this particular community will get the benefit of Kunbi certificate, because they are very numerically strong and 1/3 of Maharashtra population consists of Marathi people. So because of that, OBC organization are not wanting that the Maratha people will get the OBC certificate and the OBC reservation. So these kind of changes can be expected, that more conflict and chaos can happen in the state because they are numerically strong and also the politically strong. And it will also hamper the growth of lower OBCs who really need representation. And it will also affect, which is happening in the Rohini Commission, that we are talking about the subcategorization of OBCs. And if any powerful community will become a part of OBC, then there is a less hope to implement subcategorization of OBC in the state also. So moving to the next slide, which is a prelims practice question. Before that, we'll have to also discuss that what is the legal implication of this particular topic. So the legal implication of this particular topic is that, first of all, the Sage-Soyare term has lots of confusion and it is not clearly mentioned, though it has mentioned that marrying within the same caste. Also, it has a lots of interpretation. Maybe few districts and few people will interpret in a different way. Also, if this particular thing is based on the marriage, so people will try to prefer to marry within the same caste and also the person who have a Kunbi certificates. So this all can go to the court because there is a lack of clarity on the term of Sage-Soyare, and also that interpretation can be varied from region to region. So how this will be resolved, this is a matter of the court, and people can challenge into the court. And also the OBC community can also react that because they are not suitable for the socially and educationally backward, and because of that the OBC community can also create lots of confusion and lots of controversy related to this particular 19% reservation or 27% of reservation. So this can happen and maybe the matter can reach to the court. So moving to the today's prelims question, because we already had discussed about the term Sage-Soyare. So the question is related to the Sage-Soyare. So recently Sage-Soyare was in news. It is related to relatives, fruits, mobile phones, clothing. So I think you already know the answer. So kindly comment. If you have any queries related to this particular session, kindly comment down. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.